Hello, and welcome back to the Rag Company podcast, where we took a week off, but not really. We were pretty busy. Anyway, I'm Dane Hennon here in the center. To my right, Levi Gates.
Thanks, Dane.
Yes, Appreciate it. To my left, Anthony Fisher.
Glad to be back, Dane. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's like we never left. Speaking of which, I feel like this episode is going to be covering a lot of maybe the behind-the-scenes stuff, what went on last week, but we can feel free to pepper our weekends in there, too. I just know people are going to be asking questions about what all
maybe
went on.
They might.
Maybe.
They might not.
It depends.
Right? They could be sick
We're
of
leaving
us,
it up to them.
You know,
It might be very sick
honestly,
of us.
We're tired.
I'm kind of sick of everybody,
we're
and I love
tired.
you guys. And I think I just, I think that we all needed weeks off, months.
Yeah, like a week would be nice.
Well,
a week out would been crazy.
I think what a lot of people don't realize is when it comes to TRC, it is an all-year preparation type of thing. It is something that doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It's not like it all just magically appears that day. It is something that from the moment the previous year's show ends, we are already thinking about what we're going to do the next time. And within a few months of that, we're starting to produce graphics, content, all that stuff, and then it proceeds all the way leading right up until the actual event happens. And, of course, if you're a guest, you get to pop in, pop out. But when you're us, you're living it all year long. So anyway, I know that sounds like we're complaining, but the reality is I just want other people to know.
What you're saying is how much
very involved.
It's a lot of work that most people don't realize how much it is. That's all. And like we said, everybody's building, planning. There's so much pre-production going on.
Yeah.
There's so much little things that we have to get in and make sure that everybody's getting in right. What you guys didn't know is we had a number of folks that, that their flights got canceled because of the storms last week in the Midwest.
Missed out on some shows because
and so
of it.
we had 4 folks who couldn't be in the studio because of their flights getting canceled. We had other folks literally showing up because that was all they were landing, showing up to TRC and then taking off again. I mean, it was hard and fast, and it's trying to remember and know who's doing what. There's a ton of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of folks don't realize that we do here in the media building, but we're hosting 40 people for 4 days here in our building.
It did manage to beat last year where some people flew in and then were immediately greeted with a positive COVID
That's
test.
trwe had no COVID
this year.
so
We
far.
didn't have to worry about that.
So far,
right?
That we're aware of.
Yeah.
But the point is, there is a ton, and we've got about, like we said, hopefully about a week or two before we have to start thinking about it again.
Yeah.
But Gabe already asked the question this morning, and all of us groaned.
Seal is broken.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Seriously,
last week. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Alex Duar and Jamie the Cleaner for providing the pre-show, post-show, and mid-show
Well,
content.
and Ed and Iverson for putting on that giving us that audience of the skeleton crew.
Yes.
Right?
Live, watching.
Helping hands, watching.
Well, they're more of a dead
show.
audience, but,
Well, the show was live. They were dead. But they were watching every day. I also loved seeing everybody changing your profile pics on the YouTube to different Back to the Future ones, especially Ed Iverson.
Yeah, that was great.
Just banging them out. That was awesome. That was cool to see.
Amazing.
I liked how everyone kind of took the spirit of it. We really appreciated it, and it was super fun. So it was neat to have everybody here. It was neat to see everybody. Yeah, and we really appreciate it. But yes, we are exhausted.
There's Ed.
I don't know. I don't really know what it is about TRC because there's days where we'll kind of just be sitting around just waiting to go up, or we'll be just talking with people and kind of catching up. I think it's just the
it's a mental drain.
Well, you're in this your body is in this sense of all right, I got to be ready for anything at any time, and I also got to be you're a good host.
You're alert.
Right? You're alert. So you're like this heightened sense of awareness of everything for just a very long time.
You run on that for 4 days.
And then after the show's over, or at the end of each day, there's still dinners to go to and things like that, where you think, oh, maybe I'll have a drink, we'll relax. It's just kind of
you're not really
relaxed because you're kind of like, well, I want to make sure everybody's having fun.
Yeah.
Are you having a good time, Jack? And Jack's like, yeah, I'm having a great time. Right. All right. Just making sure you flew a long way. Just want to make sure you're having a good time. Yeah, I'm having a good time. No worries. all right, are you sure he's having a fun time? You know what I mean? It's
Took
kind
him
of
out
like
to play pool. So.
you're always just overly concerned that everybody's having a good time. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, so as far as other housekeeping goes, we had a fantastic sale. TRC with a 20% off site-wide went phenomenally. I mean, like we sold a lot of stuff, and I know that there was a lot of people that picked up some of the new products that we had talked about, especially the Optimum OptiCoat line, which is amazing. But as far as all the other products, I think there was a lot of concern and some people that were a little upset that we were revealing some of these products, but they weren't quite available for sale yet.
We should talk about that.
And so going into this, we knew that there would be some product announcements, and we knew that we didn't have those products yet, but we wanted to still get the announcements out there. So, for example, we know that PNS Swift, Defender were a hot topic, as well as the Sense that PNS is launching. And we also knew that the Coach Chemi products, that was also going to kind of raise some like, all right, when are those going to be available? Yeah. And there were several other new product releases. IK sprayers, for example. We've got, I mean, I think I can just keep kind of going on and on. But some of these things are going to be a while. Some of these things are actually be pretty soon. So here, hopefully, within the next few weeks, the PNS products will be getting in. Coach Chemi, their new products by May. We've heard that that's kind of the plan for that.
I will say, though, best way to know when this stuff drops,
sign up for the newsletter.
Sign up for the newsletter.
That's
it's
it.
the easiest, fastest thing you can do. Go to theragcompany.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, and sign up. And if it's your first time on the site, it will populate it real quick, and it'll
Bonus
tell you.
code.
Make sure you do that. That way you know when all this stuff starts dropping and when it becomes available. That's the best way. The other way, follow us. Follow us on everything.
We'll talk about it.
And tune in every week for the podcast, for the Q&A, all that stuff, because we'll be letting you guys know then also when stuff is becoming available.
Yes, absolutely. So anyway, just product releases are going to be coming. They are. Don't worry about that. And we will let you guys know. There might be an email blast when that happens, to where the newsletter would make the most sense for you to sign up for. But other than that, though, the OptiCoat line is out, so those are readily available to buy. We know there's a lot of questions about the products. There's questions about the new O&R formula. There's all that kind of stuff. And so we're going to hopefully be answering those, maybe some upcoming videos that we're going to have out. But honestly, for what it's worth, Dr. G dropped that bomb on us. We had no idea that there was going to be a fifth version
this is a fifth version of it, but it's a complete reformulation.
I believe
he wanted
so.
us to. He wanted to really mention that this is not just I added this to it.
Yeah, like
this
a
is a
tweak
full
around the margins.
frame up, complete revision of the product to compete with everything.
Which I still think it's the same chemistry, but I think
probably is. I mean, you think about it. You
start with a good thing. You don't scrap it.
It's like a restoration on a car.
Yeah.
Right. You're gonna start with you're gonna take the car apart.
This is gonna be like a rotisserie style.
Yeah,
right?
you're gonna take it apart, and then you're gonna change out the frame. Maybe you're gonna lower it like you did on that Jag.
Yeah.
You put a couple different springs
do a couple
on
more
it.
pinch welds.
Maybe
right?
you're looking at different couple pinch welds. Maybe you're looking at it, Anthony. You're like, we need to put some coilovers on.
I can see it.
Some carbon fiber somewhere just to lighten the load.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what he did.
Yes, I see. Very good. So anyway, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to still unload from TRC. There's a lot of products that will still hopefully be coming out very soon. But yeah, right now, I think that we are just still kind of in the recovery mode. We had some major wins yesterday, and so apparently I forgot I had allergies, and so like right now my eyes are.
It was 80 degrees yesterday.
It was so warm,
but the wind was killing me, and I was windows down, cracking VTEC.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me in a 2005 Acura RSX with green underglow, and I was trying to find these Rogers trucks, right?
Yeah. Well, they got the DVD, the DVD
combo.
They got the TV
VCR combo,
which is
VCR
amazing.
and DVD.
Yes.
Yeah.
12-inch TV combo.
And they got the 14-inch flat screens.
Oh, it's a 14. That's right.
It's a 14-inch flat
even
screen.
more valuable.
So and I was just didn't have a co-driver to take over, so I could shoot the Harpoon.
Right.
So anyway, but when doing that, my
someday
eyes,
Lucy will be big enough to do that.
My eyes got pretty. I think a lot of allergies, so they feel very puffy right now. But yeah. Anyway, I would say that's it. do you want to talk about a little bit of your freaking weekend, Dane?
Freaking weekend. I mean,
Freaking weekend.
yeah. So I guess
You got kind of crazy.
I heard he got rowdy.
Well,
Last I
there
left,
was-
him and Alex Duar were like, we're
Okay.
Twitch streaming each other later.
Yeah, they're twitching each other. Yeah.
We're twitching each other. We're going to go do some breakfast donuts.
Get the craziest part about it. There was not only a Canadian involved, right, but there was also a massage chair involved in this as well.
Wow.
Wow.
And
What a weekend.
wow.
Dane knows
I
how to-
mean, you guys just gave my whole weekend away, so we're
Dane
good.
knows how to party.
Canadians,
We're good.
massage chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so the point was Alex was here both sooner and later than everyone else.
Yeah.
So he was hanging around. He figured he'd give himself the luxury of a little bit of a day's worth of buffer, a margin
Yeah.
to work with. And what that resulted in was extra free time. And, he was down to hang out. And I'm like, well, it's better than leaving you bored sitting there. So, yeah, let's go for a drive. So drove around, took
him
out,
in the Jag?
Bogus. Well, I took him in the Flex.
Oh, that's
but,
fun.
Yeah, I know. Super fun. But
Show you how this
took
handles.
him around the places. Between he had to go and check out the massage chair. He made sure to get a picture of that, share it with everyone to show everybody that it existed. It was real. And then he was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty nice." So he stayed in it for like half an hour.
Did he have Sassy on his lap? Did she make an appearance?
Sassy was outside at the time. She's been
okay.
catching a lot of mice.
Did he
lately.
activate the seat hole in the middle of the chair, or was that?
I think that's a feature only you know about. Okay, so moving on, we have the.
Gross.
Yeah, yikes. No, and then we Twitch streamed
you
for a
guys-
while for fun,
okay.
and that was just kind of catching
And then
up. And
did he
talking
spend the
about cards
night
and
and then
stuff.
the next morning?
No,
you
he
guys
had a
went
hotel,
to,
so
okay.
he was good.
I mean, adult sleepovers.
Yeah,
they're
just
still
saying.
fun.
Yeah, no, but we basically saw the opportunity possibly for go-karts, but by the time we were done Twitch streaming, it was like 9, and most of the restaurants around us had closed because it's Boise and it's not that exciting on a
Friday night?
late night for
Friday night,
that.
Boise shuts
Friday
down
night's
9 o'clock.
pretty
Pretty much
poppin'.
just shuts.
All I
Especially
know
with the
is
weather.
Shuts down 9 o'clock.
think
It was just
literally
everything was
packed.
done.
All
at
I know
9
is
p.m. on
Pack Out
Friday.
was closed, and
Well, that's a diner.
Bad Boy Burgers was closed.
in the foothills.
Yeah,
Yes.
not the one up on Federal Way. That one's still open.
The point was, I wanted to go somewhere we could get like old timey diner style
Okay,
burgers kind of
yeah.
thing, rather than a fast food
Okay.
kind of thing.
Well,
so kind of a blend. So it's fast food, but it's not the same.
Okay.
Yeah, like a big bun. Bad
Why
Boy
didn't you
burger
barbecue
kinda.
on your porch? Why didn't you?
could have.
You have
Yeah, you
It
could've
was
gotten some
cold then. It
meats,
wasn't warm yet.
But you'd be around the barbecue.
I mean,
Keep
sure,
you warm.
but
Dane,
I haven't.
You could have made yourself a couple homemade whiskey sours, right? You could have went and got yourself a 70-30 blend of Chuck,
30 blend
of Chuck and whatever it is, Chuck roast and whatever it is, meat.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
you could have put that stuff together
Bunch of
and
shrink.
and I think a couple slop dogs,
Yeah.
right?
You're
You're
on a
asking me to
Friday
do
night?
this at 9 p.m. on
Yeah.
a Friday night.
Dane, I would have been there for
Dane,
that.
you're up till like 3.
Yeah,
Every day, like that's
you would've
that's
called
early.
me.
That's like coming home from work at 5.
I would have been on that
Yeah,
porch
too
enjoying a glizzy with you guys.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for barbecue season. Now I'm ready for barbecue season. Back
I'm
then,
ready
no, I
for
wasn't.
it 24/7.
So, as Alex here says, as fun as a home to sweets is, the Glizzy Wheel Flex is awesome. It is Glizzy Wheeled. I must agree. That's going to require some paint to get
So
rid
did
of
he
those.
sleep in the flex?
No.
Oh.
So
70-30 meat blend.
he's mad about
Yeah.
the slop
See,
dog.
Yeah, I know,
we know
slop-
we know
yeah.
where your heart lies, Alex.
I know the slop dogs need
Well,
to happen.
the funny story about the slop part of it, though, is we went to a Bad Boy Burger. I know this sounds weird. We went to a Bad Boy Burgers that was open. Basically, the one on
Vista by the
one
bar.
on Vista closed. Right as we got to it, we literally got to the drive-thru, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, we just closed 2 minutes ago." And I'm like, "Oh," and Alex is looking like kind of hungry, and I'm like, "I know." So from there, I was like, "But this other Bad Boy Burgers location is open."
You just
The one
drove
on Gallon.
around this
Go to the one on
Yes.
Gallon and Federal Way. You'll be fine.
So then the point was, we went from there to the one on Fairview, and that
Long
one
way.
was open.
Okay, good. Phew.
That one was open. And the guy behind the counter, I'm going to assume, was on some kind of party, supplements. And he was looking real wide-eyed and bloodshot and gave us our food. Bag looked normal, but the slop part came in when Alex opened the bag and looked at it and said, "Oh, my God." Basically, like fry sauce had exploded over everything in the bag.
Well, so it's like poutine.
Yeah. It's like
yeah,
poutine.
but that was like
Putin.
all your fries, all your burger, everything was just slathered in fry sauce.
Yeah,
so
I
it
know
was
poutine, dude.
yeah,
That's
delicious.
normal.
so
Sounds
the
delicious.
flex is going to need an interior detail
Gross.
at some point here. It wasn't. It was managed within the bag, but it was like, oh, this is.
Dane's a funny date. He drives around until something's open, then parks in a parking lot
Yeah.
to eat.
I went over to the Albertsons parking lot across
Let's
the
go
road
right over there.
and I was like, well, we're gonna eat in the car now because everybody always wants to experience eating in the car with Dane.
Can't
That's the move.
stand it. I can't stand the eating in the car.
Dude,
But,
I'm
okay,
not gonna sit out
it's-
at Bad
no,
Boy Burgers.
I would
when they're
I-
about to close.
Yeah, I would.
My
That's a
favorite
burger
part
joint.
No.
is it's
No.
not just the eating in the car, it's how comfortable Dane is eating in the car.
Very.
Like, it's not an uncomfortable thing at all. He actually enjoys it. Like, he looks
Yeah.
forward to it. He
Yes,
goes
I do.
back, and then he sits his seat back, right? He
Did you have your
adjusts
tray
his,
table that you-
well,
that
he,
we were gonna get
he adjusts his mirrors, right,
If
to the
I-
eating position.
If
So you
I
can see.
Yes.
if
people
I go
sneaking up.
sit at an outdoor patio at a restaurant, depending on the kind of restaurant, outdoor patio is great. But if I'm in kind of a more compromised time environment, don't have a lot of
Yeah,
time.
but that is a empty parking lot.
Yeah, but it's late at night and it's in kind of an area that gets.
So
a
you
little
wanted to go to
sketchy.
somewhere safer, like the Albertsons across the street.
Yeah, where it's a well lit parking lot. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you've got heated and cooled seats. You've got a radio where we can listen to the Smoking Tire podcast.
Oh.
You've got various amenities.
Sunroof?
You've got tray tables. You've got the sunroof. You got the whole
okay.
thing. You're set to go. You
Does
don't
sound
have
pretty
that when you're
nice.
sitting out.
This does sound
on a
pretty
patio.
nice.
So the whole idea is
gotta
you're
say,
just
Anthony.
making the most of the space you've got.
Yeah.
And for some,
I'd be there.
That is something people
So,
overlook.
question,
That's fine,
Dane.
but for me,
Vehicles shouldn't be
That's
eating it.
paradise.
Can we get the drop down tray tables for the back seats for your back seat passengers as well?
Yeah, gotta
so that you can
invest
do a
in those.
4-way.
because there are TVs in the backs of the headrests.
That sounds even better.
So
But there's
I'm,
no,
I'm totally
trays.
cool with tailgate eating, right? You want to eat some tail? I get it. Like, or you want to eat on a tail? I get it, right? I'm totally down for
okay.
get pop in the tailgate of a truck, sitting up there and enjoying a
Right,
burger. That to me can feel relatively comfortable. It's the sitting in the vehicle that just irks me because you're sitting there eating and touching these greasy things, and you're touching your steering wheel. And
You
the
use a
shifter
napkin in between. I'm not an
doesn't remove-
animal,
doesn't
my
remove-
friend.
It doesn't remove grease stain.
my
Some grease penetrates the skin just like it penetrates
Sure it
that
does.
leather. And
Sure it does.
it's just kind of hard for me to envision. It's also the smell too.
Yeah.
I don't want my car to smell like food.
Yeah. Good thing Jack gave me those Starnaglass hangers. So
It doesn't match his mask.
that'll help.
It needs to be pure, Dane.
Oh my God. Yeah. So basically,
Anyway,
got
Carly
that out
caught
the
ya.
way. Yes. Carly's concerned about eating some tail there, so look out for that.
when in Rome, right?
Yeah. So anyway, let's see. What do we got here? We got Kirby saying basically during COVID, I too did a drive-through and parked in the shopping center parking lot to dine. Classy day. You know what? That's the thing is, I don't look at it as classy or not classy. I look at it as functional excellence. So in my case, it was a way to have a good audio experience. You're able to eat. You got places to set your things. You're in a safe and closed
we do have
environment.
to get him his tray table that attaches to the steering wheel so that he can
functional excellence.
that way
on
he can
it.
have his
Last
sense
I
of
checked,
functional excellence.
the chairs on a patio
I love
at
that you're taking Matt Mormon's
70s
tagline.
And you're
then
applying
you're
it to
applying
literally
it to eating in
an
a
interior
car.
tray table so you can
prove
eat,
me
so you
wrong.
can eat your slop dogs.
me wrong.
Oh my
so
God.
basically, Alex
not
got
okay.
a window into how I would sometimes spend those just those days where it's like, all right, I'm not ready to go
Dane,
home yet, but
you
I'll just
always
chill
eat in your
here.
car. It's not just those
It's not like
days.
it's only once,
every
it's
day.
every day.
You eat in the car.
No, not every day.
Dane,
Most
every day.
days.
Most days.
Because I
You eat
take
in the-
a day off. Like
Because
I don't
the
eat in
point-
my car
the
when
point
I'm at
being,
home.
If I'm in the Jag, I'm coming in here. I'm not eating in the Jag. But in the Flex,
Not yet.
the Flex is a
Not yet,
mobile
ladies and gentlemen.
cafeteria.
No, it is not a mobile cafeteria.
Not a mobile cafeteria.
Don't
It is-
like that.
It is a mess hall on an open seat vessel.
It
It
is.
is.
Gross.
Not that.
If you'd like, I can let you borrow my children, and you can take them
man.
through a drive-through, and then you can really see what the chaos is.
So the point was, I wanted to just show Alex an authentic experience.
Easter dinner in his
Good, bad, whatever. I'm just like,
Joey.
hey, this is real. This is how I would spend my time. It's not exciting to some, but you know what? It's okay. I'm okay being boring sometimes. So that just was it.
That's right.
Yeah, no.
Alex
me,
is very patient.
For me, it's being able to listen to podcasts and have a heated or cooled seat. And, just have that experience that you can't get sitting on a patio at a diner. If you're talking to somebody, that's one thing. But when you have food and stuff, it's kind of a distraction from that. So you can't really, manage the two. So anyway, point being, we were going to do go-karts with you guys. Yeah. And then it wound up being too late. So we drove by anyway just to check in on the place so I could show Alex what it looked like inside.
Well, yeah, it took forever to find a place to eat. That of course it was going to be too late.
Because we weren't done with the stream until 9. So... Yeah, it was a little tough to find a spot, but
I don't know.
Just looking out.
Dane's just capable of doing two things I hate, which is eating in a car and also eating alone. Dane, you can eat alone.
Dude, I will happily eat alone. It is not lonely.
Okay.
I am alone, but I am not lonely. I literally watched Heat last night.
Like
so I'm
in the car?
Like Umberto says, right?
No.
Like Umberto says, can you go into a restaurant and eat alone?
Express Cafe.
You can do that.
Yes.
You can go into just a restaurant.
I've done that.
And they say, table for 2, and you go, sorry, it's just me.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, so nobody will be joining you. And you confirm and you say, yep, it's just going to be me. And then they say, would you like a magazine? And you say, oh, no, it's just going to be me. I'm okay. And you're okay with going into a restaurant and just sitting there lonely by yourself?
There's a difference between being lonely and being alone. Sometimes you want to be alone. Sometimes you're okay with that. You can be in your own little world. You got your AirPods and whatever.
Well, I want to be alone, but I want to be alone doing like cool things. Like,
okay.
I don't know what that means, but
the point is, if I'm on a road trip and I don't have a guest with me or anything, I'll stop by in a diner, absolutely, by myself, no question, just fine.
That's a very Jack Reacher style thing to do.
But I've done that. I have done
that
on many an occasion, and I am completely comfortable doing that. And when I go into Express Cafe before a road trip, I will walk in, I'll sit at the bar by myself,
a road trip.
and that'll be that. That is something that
you go to Express Cafe before a road trip.
Yes. And that's just the way it works.
I can't do it. I don't know.
But
I've
when I'm alone, I normally
alone.
don't go into restaurants. That's not something I usually do. Usually it's just going to be fast food in that case.
Yes.
If you're alone and you're in the car and you're driving somewhere, it's usually going to be fast food. Please tell us in the comments below if you feel the same way I do.
So everybody knows. So here's the thing. I also love to eat in my car.
Yeah.
And I have no problem. I also have no problem eating in my car.
Your food is gone before you can even...
That's right.
Exactly.
He eats incredibly fast. Me, I savor it.
It's gone.
I enjoy the atmosphere of the interior of my car.
I will.
It's a
space
that I make
so me,
work.
it's if I'm getting fast food, it's also fast delivery into my body.
Right.
So the goal is that as soon as I get it, as soon as I receive it,
linger on it.
I start eating it as I'm driving back to where I'm headed. And when I get to where I'm headed, all that food has been consumed.
You just described something that I will never
And
ever,
then I get out and I grab my bag and I throw it in the trash here and I am back. With no one going, where were you? Where you been? I went and got food. I had my lunch and I'm done.
Guys, gals watching right now, Levi just said something that I absolutely will never do. And that is eating while driving. That is not something that I would ever do. Because you know what? You guys talk about, oh, Dane, you're eating in your car. You're going to make a mess. No, you know what's going to cause a mess is when you're driving and you suddenly have to make that lane change because the guy cut you off and your burrito falls in your lap.
I don't eat burritos. I don't eat a burrito when I'm driving. That is an awful food to drive with.
I don't have any of these problems because I don't eat my car.
I will eat my car in a stationary place listening to my favorite radio show or podcast and be good with that.
Yeah, we know that, Dane.
That.
I have seen you eat in your car, and it's actually quite funny.
I love it.
It's a vibe.
I've been on road trips with Dane before, right? And the thing is, he even isn't a huge fan of snacking while driving.
No.
Because it's very distracting.
Exactly. I focus on
Carly
the road.
and I,
I'm driving.
So when Carly and I go on a road trip, first things we do, fill the car up, make sure the kids are all loaded, ready to rock and roll. We head out. We stop, usually at Jack in the Box on our way out of Boise.
Sure.
Right?
Good choice. Couple tacos for breakfast.
Get a couple, not tacos or burritos. We get sandwiches and burgers, right?
Oh, no.
We also stop at the Jacksons right there, the extra mile, get a large number of treats, snacks, chips, licorice, drinks, so that we're ready to go. Then we get on the road, and as I'm merging onto the freeway. Carly has my burger unwrapped and is handing it to me. I take that burger as I'm going up to speed, getting that car up to about 85 miles an hour. Then I take my first bite and my third bite, and I am done with that burger. I can now crumble that up, give it to her.
Healthy.
She's already got the second one ready to go for me. She hands it over, and I'm doing that same thing. Maybe I'm gonna set the cruise by then because I'm not even past micron at this point.
Oh, man.
Right? And I finished the second burger. After I'm done with that, I hand it to her. She's finishing up hers. Kids are eating theirs. And then it's time to bust out the treats.
Oh, no.
And it's Cheetos Puffs.
Oh shoot!
It's
yeah. I can't.
Pringles.
Well,
It's chocolate covered peanuts.
So you're throwing out like all the worst things.
I'm going for it.
Yeah.
See,
no,
what I'm hearing
taking
here
it,
the
in
Cheetos
all these
Puffs,
things,
Like we're gonna make this a magical
I'm putting
event.
stuff on the steering wheel. What are Cheetos doing?
But here's the thing.
I would never do that.
Here's the thing.
chocolate
I also
peanuts, not those.
You know what I pack in the car
What's
before
that?
I leave on my side of the door?
Yeah.
A premium microfiber towel from our friends here at the Rag Company.
Yeah.
No, our
And I
friends,
drape
you
it
mean
over
us.
my
One
I
towel
drape it.
isn't enough.
I drape
to
it. No, Anthony, I drape
fix
it over my
everything.
leg
Yeah.
because
My
that
man, Long Island Details
is
Supply.
where
Yes.
I clean my hands while I'm driving so that the steering wheel stays pristine.
Okay, so you're looking out for that.
Yeah.
Because I'm driving one-handed at 90 miles an hour. That's how I do it. Like,
Yeah,
why
if I'm
would
gonna
you
trust
put
anybody to do
two?
that,
Why would
it's
you
this
put
guy.
two hands on a steering wheel when one works just fine?
Yeah.
The other hand has to stay open for snacks.
That's true though,
food,
because you
food delivery.
get those clustered chocolate peanuts. It's
Yeah.
like the peanut clusters,
Yeah.
right?
You just
love
pop 'em in
those.
your mouth.
I just, if that were to fall in the car, I don't know what I would
So-
do.
Well,
I
if it
think
falls,
we've
I'll clean it up
established-
later when I'm done driving.
We've established where we all stand on this. I got it. Loud and clear. Folks at home got it loud and clear. We all have our battle lines drawn in the sand, and
yeah.
we know where we sit. No food in the car.
Ever.
Food in the car.
Never.
Food in the car at speed.
Food in the car at speed, and when I reach my destination, all the trash comes out.
All right. And that's a good move. I don't like letting trash sit in the car. That's bad news.
Yeah,
Don't
like
want
I
that.
I got in the Suburban today, and I had taken Friday. I had taken one of those Panera boxes of turkey
Ooh,
when
don't
I
let
left,
that sit.
and I was eating it in the car.
Yeah.
And then I had a appointment I had to go to at the end of the day, and so I did that. And then I got home and I emptied out the car with the rest of the stuff, except I left that box in there. It had onions in it.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know me; I do not abide
In focus,
onions.
I'm with you, bud. That makes sense. Man, yeah. So anyway, I think a lot of people, even detailers, feel like it's okay to
Pure
eat in the
efficiency.
car, especially if you're a clean-minded person. You're going to take care of it. You're not going to let that stuff sit. The smell will be difficult to get rid of with certain foods.
No,
They
that's why I have
definitely linger.
Stecada in the
But
Suburban.
yeah, no, if you got something to help kind of kick it away, that helps. Anyway, moving along, we got sidetracked there, but you guys definitely didn't help.
Larry, that's the kind of efficiency I love.
Yes.
47 miles to college eating breakfast and reading the newspaper.
That is impressive.
That's a champion.
That is
right there.
impressive.
See, people are doing that now in their full self-driving Teslas.
Traffic
and
in the
winding up
mid
in
'80s was
horrible
also a little bit
accidents.
different,
Yeah,
too, right?
especially in an
Yeah.
80s car.
Yeah.
You never knew it was going to just shut off.
Oh boy.
All right, so Dane,
so-
so you chauffeured Alex. You guys had a great time. Massage chair activities, big boy burger activities, eating in the car. What else did you do with your weekend
Did
besides
that, headed back, and I was going to drop him off at his hotel, and I should have done one lap of the cruise before I dropped him off to show him, the high caliber of tuner types driving around our fine city at 11:30 midnight, something like that. That would have been kind of cool to see, but
Yeah.
he missed out on that. But anyway, the next morning he had his flight to hit in the afternoon there, so I told him first thing before you go to your flight, I'm going to stop by Express Cafe. We're actually going to sit in. The folks there were so excited to see me. He saw it firsthand.
They were like,
saw-
yay, everybody. I mean, they started. That
It's
was
like cheers,
Yeah, it
right?
was like cheers. Everybody knows your name.
Actually, it was more like 4 people. But yeah.
it's
The
something.
point. Out of a staff
He got
of like
to
10.
witness it.
He saw it.
a
He saw
real
it.
thing.
He heard
Okay.
it. He knew. He will
Nice.
verify. And if he lies right now, I'm going to be
So
really sad.
did you guys? Did they set aside your special donut holes that you have?
Well, I got to use my $5 poker token that they gave me last time to
Oh,
take off
nice.
the edge of the not today.
Did you
but
get
the
breakfast
Sunday's
sandwiches, or what
purchase.
did you guys get?
So we ended up getting like real breakfast. So I got my chicken fried steak, but they had a special on a slightly smaller ounceage one. And then on he got the cinnamon roll French toast, which is a specialty
wow.
there.
Yeah.
Essentially, they French toastify a cinnamon roll.
What about the cake donuts? You guys?
Cake donut? I made sure he got one of the two. I got one for Liz and I got one for him. So that way.
Because you said they
we're good.
sell out pretty often.
They do. They only had 3 left, so I got 2 of the 3.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
And anyway, he enjoyed it. And of course, they asked what he thought of the syrup. And I explained to him, I was like, this is not a place I go to because it's fine dining, high luxury, anything like that. I love it because the people here are great.
10 years ago, you could smoke cigarettes.
You could smoke a cigarette. The waitresses could smoke cigarettes while they were bringing your food.
Yeah. And that would be an authentic diner
Classy
experience.
place.
Yeah.
But my point was, this is not meant to be a high-end experience. It's meant to be a hometown, good feeling, just
with a name like Express Cafe.
It's so
seriously
it's
thought
so
a high-end
plain
burnt,
in
tastes
there.
a bit like tobacco.
It looks so unassuming,
bunch of
so
Formica.
just nondescript.
It
You
looks
walk in
like
there-
they built on the left side of that building like as a afterthought, or the north side of that building was an afterthought. They go, we need more seating.
Yeah, let's
throw
just
some
build
walls
out a
over
wall.
there. Yeah.
So anyway, it was a great experience. He got to try it out, and I'm glad he did. And I took him to the airport, sent him on his way, and then he gave me updates to make sure he got home. So good going there. But
Thank you for taking care of him. I appreciate that.
because you guys were tired, and I understood that. And I mean, I was tired too. But at the same time, like Alex is a good one to kind of just like chill with. He's not stressful to talk to.
No, Alex is amazing.
Yeah, no, Alex is great. Alex and Jamie, everybody who came was great. It's just sometimes you need a break.
Yeah.
But no, Alex, shout out. You're a great dude. So anyway, wrap that up. Then the rest of my weekend, I went for a couple bike rides as things were starting to improve a little bit. And also went out and took the dog for a walk. And then we had our Easter, set up at my parents' house.
Did you
and
get
we
your
brought
Easter
in,
basket and did you hunt eggs? Did your parents come and do an egg hunt in your yard?
I don't have children, and obviously...
Well, no, I mean,
you're
like
their
your
children.
parents, did they provide an Easter egg hunt for you?
We stopped
And Corey.
doing that about 10 years ago. So, yeah. No, we're
Well, you have a
good.
perfect house for it, though.
We're good. I know.
Okay,
The yard
they
could
could-
be
So
great.
your parents came over to your house for Easter?
No, I went to their house.
Oh.
But he's saying my house, like the setup, you could definitely hide some eggs
man.
out there for
That'd be a
sure.
great-
Kids
yeah.
would break their legs on that hill.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, no, perfect. It's just a little bit of a liability, but as long as the kid doesn't go rolling down the driveway like I did as a child, we'll all be okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway,
So Easter at your parents.
it was very nice. Cracked open the windows. It was actually turning beautiful outside. It was weird, man. The entire last week, we had it snow a couple times while all the guests were here and stuff. And then we finished off the week.
Sunday
with,
was beautiful.
Borderline 80-degree weather. It was like in the mid 70s by the end of it. So it was just a very interesting experience overall. But that's spring in Boise. So,
Nice.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Other than that, just watched some movies, kind of caught up. I was on a little bit of an 80s kick, so doing that. While Dane still has Easter eggs and adult. No, that's the whole point is I don't.
like Joey's comment.
Where's
sniff,
Joe?
sniff.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
still
Yeah,
standing.
thanks, buddy. No.
tag teaming.
Oh, you
boy.
get the discount,
Vasectomy.
right?
Yeah, 2 for 1.
Yeah, 2 for 1 vasectomies.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
And then Alex says, I gave the cake donut to my significant other, and it was thoroughly enjoyed. Customs lettuce. Like, nice, man. I told him to stuff it in his backpack in case they gave him crap for it.
Yeah.
He heading through customs. But he'd be okay.
Great.
I mean, it's a
But,
donut. It's not fruit or something.
So anyway, so
yeah.
so it sounds like you had a good Easter. And then did you get any cool, like, any candy, anything like that you like to enjoy?
No. My candy was catching up on some classic movies. I just felt like having a little bit of binge. I didn't want to move. My back's starting to hurt. For some reason, my lower back was killing me. I'm going to the chiropractor today to try and kink that out. But I watched Godfather Part 2, which I hadn't seen in a long time.
Okay.
Then I followed that up by watching Scarface, because at that point I was like, more Pacino. Let's watch more Pacino.
Yeah.
And then I wrapped up Sunday night with some Beverly Hills Cop, because, some more
it's a good
80s
one.
feel. So
Yeah.
that's a good one. Overall, just fun times. I was in kind of an 80s movie mood. And then last night I watched Heat. So more
Nice.
Pacino.
There
But
you go.
good stuff.
nice.
Anyway,
Heat's a great
enjoyed
movie.
that. Yeah, no
awesome.
complaints there. So anyway, that's kind of what I did with my time. Just trying to recalibrate and get back into the swing of things. So anyway, that's
Levi,
enough about me.
what'd you do?
Levi.
Oh, so it was definitely a long week, and it was nice to be able to leave here Friday early, and then went to my appointment, and then Friday evening we kind of just chilled out at home. We got some. The kids wanted to go somewhere for dinner, so we ended up taking them to Chick-fil-A. And we went to Chick-fil-A, the four of us.
Delicious, yes.
Had a wonderful, delicious dinner as a family at a high-end facility. Not as fancy as Express Cafe, but on the same level of high-end food. Yeah. Right. We ate in the restaurant. Right?
Oh, good.
So had a delicious dinner there, and then Saturday morning I had a detail.
Oh,
Suburban was dropped off by Jared Barchi.
Oh,
It's his wife's Suburban.
I don't know who that is, but
He's the guy who
I know
rebuilt
that
Dane's
guy.
house.
he did the disaster response part, and then different guys built the stuff up.
But he was the main contract, GC for it.
Reinforced.
So I made sure I got some of the money back from Dane. The Dane paid him.
good.
I got some of that back by cleaning his car.
That's how that works.
Kind
I
of
see.
cyclical. It's how it goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, Saturday I spent working on that, and it was pretty hammered. So Carly had told Hadley, hey, we can go to a movie today, and you can invite your best friend, and we can go to the movie together for your birthday, which was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because everybody was on spring break, and all the kids were gone during their birthday. And so
what'd you see?
They got tickets for Super Mario Brothers at the Bodo. And I thought they were going around the afternoon, and then Carly said, no, it's not till 5. And I said, well, I want to go too. And so I worked on getting the interior done on that Suburban, and was able to go to the movie, got done about 4, took a shower, changed, got ready. We went to the movie, and holy crap, really good.
You enjoyed it.
The Super Mario Brothers movie is actually really good. Wow. I was very impressed with it and thought it was great. Chris Pratt only does that voice for about a minute in the entire movie, and it's based on a commercial.
Oh, no.
So him and Luigi make a commercial, and they use that voice. They both do this caricature for that commercial, and then they get referenced through it throughout the movie by their family, like, why did you guys do that stupid accent?
Yeah.
So
that's how they get around
people
that.
thought people thought they pulled that clip and then they made that
So
he did
Mario
this
doesn't
voice.
actually talk at all.
No, they talk. They talk like Chris Pratt and whoever played his brother.
Well, Charlie
Day.
I know, but
Like-
Mario. So you're saying that Mario doesn't have an Italian accent?
No, they have Brooklyn accents, like an East Coast accent.
Well, for all my historians in the audience, if you haven't watched the wonderful Hopkins and Leguizamo original feature,
It's a great movie.
was
Also a great one.
Great.
Anyway,
movie.
Super Mario was but it was a fun movie. It had enough for folks like myself who played the original Super Mario Brothers when it came out and was part of that 1989 revolution of that when it came to the U.S.
1989?
It was 88, 89 when it really
earlier than that.
it started
I was born
to.
in 89.
Well, you had 85, 86 for like the
when
original.
it, when
That's what
it,
I'm
but
saying,
that's
original.
but you got to remember that
But
came
Super
from
Nintendo
Japan,
was like 89, 90, yeah.
and then it came and there was that fervor of
the
growing it.
Famicom and all that.
I got my Nintendo in 1989.
So I was going to ask,
And that's
Neil's
when I
right.
played
I was
it.
going to ask, how did Jack Black do as Bowser?
He was amazing. I didn't
Good,
even realize
okay.
it was Jack Black.
Oh, that's
like as the voice.
awesome. Okay.
So no, they did it great. Whole movie was fun, hilarious. Kids loved it. The kids, Algie loved the recliners and the.
Oh, did
all
he?
that. He was just.
Did he
like,
get a
this is-
snack at all?
Yeah.
What did he get?
Well, we brought a bunch of snacks. So we still have all the snacks Lars gave us. So we had a lot of chocolates and
shortage.
Haribos.
Yeah.
And then Hadley asked for a pizza
A mini pizza
in the movie,
yeah,
and I got up
Theater.
and went and got it. And it was fine.
Oh, no.
But so that was Saturday, and then Sunday came home, or we had Easter, so we went out to my Uncle Scott's house over here off of Outlook,
Okay.
just off of Collister and Outlook, and went to his place. And he's got a large backyard and a big house, and so everybody was there. We had food outside, family was there, and we had the annual Gates Easter egg hunt, which is a high-dollar affair.
Yeah, you guys take it very serious.
Many
was
people
it the-
compare it to like the World Series of Poker.
How many Gates members were there?
Total Gates family members, like Gates named family members, less than 20.
Okay, but that's still
But
a decent size.
Lots of secondary Gateses and Gateses that may have been once removed or twice removed were there as well. Yeah. So they might have maiden names or other married names, right? Mm-hmm. But Gates derived children that were going to be hunting. Yeah. There was about, let's see, Augie and Hadley, Cooper and Porter, and then Elsie and Everett, and then Chloe and one other kid. So, yeah, we had, 7 kids hunting. Mm. That's it. Yeah. So here's how we do it. Everybody donates money into a pot. Mm-hmm. Then, out of that pot, we create a number of eggs with a dollar value written on each egg. The eggs are then hidden throughout the property while the children are kept closed off into an area where they have no access to viewing this property. Yeah. Then they are turned loose in increments of ages. So the first one was about a year old, maybe 10 months. So he went first, and we gave him a good couple minutes to let him crawl around on the grass and in front of an egg and put it in his bag. Then we released my nephew, who was a little one. He went running. He had about a minute. Nephews. He got a couple. He still ran past some eggs.
Sure.
Then that's when we released the big dogs. Mm-hmm. And those kids are hungry for it.
Yeah, look out.
They are already seeing the eggs. They see the values on them. They're like, holy cow. So the pot had $425 in it.
Okay.
Pretty good. Yeah. 7 kids hunting Easter eggs with a total value of $425.
It's going to get ugly.
They went running for it. They enjoyed it. And Augie and Hadley, when they finished, Augie was like, Hadley, you should give me some of your eggs because I don't have that many. And Hadley goes, I don't have that many. I have a small basket. And Augie goes, yeah, but I didn't get that many eggs. And I would really appreciate some because I really need to make some money here.
Wow.
And Hadley stuck to her guns and she goes, Augie, I don't have that many eggs. So then at the end, they cash in. They all line up. They cash out their eggs, right? Count up the eggs. Here you go. Boom, boom, boom. Cold hard cash. Giving it to the kids. This has been going on for 40 years in our family. I used to hunt eggs all the way until I was 18 because of the monetary value, because I'd get gas money.
There you go.
Which was great.
Yeah.
So Hadley got $55.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
Augie, $77.
Oh, I didn't have that much. Oh.
Yeah, thankfully.
Okay.
So I had found a $10 egg hanging on one of the trees, and I pulled it off after all the kids were done.
Yeah.
And I had it, and I walked over and I handed it to Hadley. And I'm so glad that I did because it gave her 55 instead of 45.
Okay.
But it had $10 on it, and I was like,
wow.
Throw that over there. So, yeah. But it was cool. So the kids loved it. They took half of their winnings and put it in their Disneyland fund so they could have the other half. Augie, there's something he loves about walking around with bills, like a roll of bills with a rubber band. That's like his.
Cash,
Be careful
like
he
his
doesn't
thing,
become
man.
a DJ in a nightclub.
He was asking if we could get it all turned into one so it'd make it seem like it was bigger.
Well,
I said there's no real
assuming
reason
that's
for
the
that.
only reason he wanted ones.
And they're just very useful for multiple situations.
Yeah. So, but the kids were great. One of the kids got, I think it was Porter, who's Hadley's age. I think he got like 120. Like that kid was like on the ground grabbing eggs everywhere he could get them.
Hungry hippo.
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
pretty fun. So, but beautiful weather. Then we left, headed back home, and then I had to bust out the rest of that car. So it took me about another 3 hours. I think total I had about 6 hours into that truck, 7 hours to get it all finished. But I had to wash it. Yeah. I washed it in the morning before we left, and then when we came back, then I did Uno Advanced and a blue wool pad on the outside, dressed the tires, cleaned the interior, finished vacuuming it all up, touched it up, pulled it out, called them. They came by and picked it up about 5:45 or so, and then we went for a walk Sunday afternoon because it was beautiful out. We have a pair of ducks that have been living in our yard for the last week, and so we've been leaving them birdseed and water, and that's been really nice having those two out front. We've been trying to keep up on that and keep those guys happy. And then Monday, Carly and I both took the day off. So we had a day off together. So we took the kids to school, and then we actually got to spend the day just hanging out. So we went to get a prescription up at Fred Meyer's. Then we headed to Big City Coffee and had a delicious breakfast.
Oh, wow.
Hung out and enjoyed that. Then we went to Repop, wandered around that store. Tons of Back to the Future stuff. I'm a little frustrated we didn't go there beforehand. They had lots of socks, shirts, hats, things like that we all could have been wearing. That would have been fun.
Okay.
Crazy.
And then we left Repop and headed over to the Bodo again so we could watch John Wick 4.
Oh, wow.
Got a matinee at 12:10.
You're really liking that
We
theater.
literally were the only ones in the theater
Yeah.
at noon on a Monday.
Everybody else
there
has
was
already seen
there
it.
was one other guy
It's like
walked
being
in
in your
and
teens again,
there's
am I
one
right?
other guy walked in and sat down, and he sat dead middle in the middle of the theater. We
Of
were at
course.
the back row at the top.
Yep.
Dude, it was awesome.
That's great.
It was great. We had the theater to ourselves.
Back row gang. I like
yeah,
that.
and we just watched, enjoyed it. I like that. I thought it was a great movie.
His worst enemy was a
It
set of
needs
stairs.
30 minutes cut out of it.
Yeah, it's
I
a
felt
little long.
There's too much.
But it's got good stuff in it.
There was what they did. Every scene was great. There was just too much.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all.
All I'm
it's
saying is
better
that
than
stairway,
this.
that stairway
yeah.
deserves
No,
a supporting actor credit.
second movie
Could
was
really get
trash.
rid of that. But the
It's the
drifting,
joke,
Talking
though.
about
but the drifting around the guys shooting at them at the Arc de Triomphe. And just literally doing laps around the dudes, shooting them, but drifting the whole time. It was a beautiful scene. Beautiful scene.
it was
The whole
awesome.
Arc de Triomphe scene, I could have kept watching that as guys were getting hit by cars
Yeah,
and stuff.
constantly.
Beautiful. So anyway, then we did that, came home, and then what day off would not be complete without cooking up some sloppy joes?
There it is.
So made some sloppy joes for the family.
70-30 blend.
70-30 blended meat.
Yeah.
93.7 is actually what it was.
The 70-30 is where it's at.
It shrinks up when it's that fatty.
Yeah, it's good.
But no,
Flavorful.
so made those, and then
Context, weird.
just a normal evening after that, watched some Perry Mason with Carly after the kids were in
Perry
bed.
Mason, yes.
And and then Sunday night, of course, we watched Succession, and been enjoying
Haven't
all of
touched
that.
the new season
So,
yet. Looking good?
It's very good.
Okay.
Very good. So, but yeah, so that was my weekend. That was everything. And then,
Nice.
and then excited for this week.
Of course.
And I'm excited. So,
No, that's great. And I got Larry here before we get into Anthony's week. And without getting into trade secrets, what approximate percentage
We
of
don't have that
TRC sales
number.
go up during TRC week?
I have
Honestly,
no idea. Sometimes it's best not to know because it could be good, it could be bad.
I don't have an
Yeah.
exact number. Oh,
I do know that we had a lot of active orders. That was great. So
Yeah.
it was a good sales week, and that's all we know. We'll find out towards the end.
yeah. And this was a bit. I normally probably wouldn't go to Dutch Bros because I'm not looking to have that experience all the time. Just because it's intense,
Okay.
if you're
What do you
feeling kind of
mean
chill.
by you people?
I'm saying,
I think you're
there's
better than
a-
the people that go to Dutch Brothers. 'Cause
There's a very
there's a few
intense
people here that
mid-20s
go there all the
college age, girl or guy who's like in your face asking you questions about your weekend when you just want to get coffee and go.
Do you not like attention?
No.
Oh, I guess
So
that's
no, it's basically Alex asked me when I was driving him. I was showing him Harrison Boulevard. I was like, okay, here's
Yeah.
Warm Springs, here's Harrison Boulevard, because I took him on a little architectural tour because that's what I do.
Part of the Dane.
Yes,
and
part of the Dane
architectural
experience.
team.
I was trying to
Yeah.
give Alex the true
Yeah.
Dane experience to
Yeah.
the thing because he didn't have anything else going on. He's just like, all right with you. I'm like, all right.
Let's go.
So yeah, this is kind of what I do with my weekends sometimes. Horribly boring. I'm an old man trapped in a young man's fat body. Anyway, so Alex here, he asked, he goes, I hear so much about this Dutch Bros. Can we just go and get a coffee? So
you took him to Dutch Brothers.
So I was like, all right, because he asked, he goes, I don't want to take you out of your way. Is there one close? And I said, yeah, because we were at the base of Bogus Base. And I was like, just drive straight downtown, go to the one there. And so just took him down to Harrison, went to it. And I warned him ahead of time. I was like, all right, so the thing you need to understand about this place is the coffee, if you like sugar, it's great. They do have sugar-free options. Just, if you're feeling tired, it could be a bit much sometimes engaging with some of the folks who are, they're paid, they're
doing
looking for
their
tips,
job.
they're doing their job, but they can just be a bit much sometimes. It's a little overbearing compared to other coffee places, in my personal experience. So we rolled up there, and it started chill enough, but then as it went on, she started picking into Alex going, you sound like you're from somewhere. Where are you from? And then he says Canada. And then she acts like it's the most amazing thing in the world that he's not from the U.S. And she's like, I'm so used to Californians coming through here or something else, and then it turned into a whole
They really
bunch
turned it into a very personal
a bunch
experience
of
for,
jokes. Yes,
for Alex.
Yes,
Because they were inviting, they were asking him questions about where he was from,
I love
how's
how you
his
guys
day
are just
going.
being very protective and defending this when I'm sorry. I love the drink one for Dane thing because my name's Dane and that feels good. But I will totally say not everybody is down for the experience of, that.
Well, I don't doubt that. I'm just saying.
Your argument here, I mean, is the fact that she was so excited. It just seems that like your argument for not wanting that energy doesn't
Sometimes
seem like that.
I don't mind a pleasant interaction, like a Chick-fil-A pleasant interaction.
So was it a
is
pleasant
one thing.
interaction?
It was overbearing, but it was polite.
Oh.
It was overbearing, though. But
What did you think of her services?
Did they
It was
provide
the coffee was
in a-
made and it was handed it to me. Other
Did
than that,
she hand it to you well?
as one
Did she have a
does.
nice smile?
She was very nice, but
Okay.
it was mostly
Sounds
just,
like you guys had a great time at Dutch
I don't see
Brothers.
the problem with that.
you guys have a vested interest in protecting it. I get it.
I don't
We don't have any vested in it.
I
We
don't
don't
have any
make
vested-
any
I'm
money
sorry,
on
you're not
this.
related to people who run
Nope.
them? Okay,
I'm
so
not. I'm not.
I can say whatever I want. I'm a free
okay.
man.
My point is, I deliberately, and I'll say this outright, I deliberately go to other coffee establishments because sometimes
Yeah.
I do not want that
Well,
experience.
they're a
I
big
like
chain.
a pleasant experience. I don't need like a Pomeranian in my ear to, give me coffee. Sorry.
So,
But-
I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do to prevent that type of like crazy experience, right? I don't know. Have you ever just tried wearing sunglasses?
Thank you, Carly.
Have you ever tried going like this and like pretending that you're deaf to them?
Oh no! That would be incredibly ableist and rude of me. That would not be good.
Yeah.
Carly knows what I'm talking about.
No,
there's a particular
the one by
vibe.
our house is like that. They are.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like, but they play the music so
Oh
loud
yeah,
and it's blasting.
playing the
and,
music
yeah.
ultra loud.
Yeah, you
and
can't hear them because
Have you
they're
guys tried
screaming at
I
you.
battling
sound like
back
an old man
with
saying this, but
having music louder than
I
them.
should, right? Yeah.
Like have a monomarthon, right?
Yeah.
And it's just angry Viking music, and
Yeah.
and they go like, "What's your deal, man?" There you go, nothing. What's your deal?
I'm just enjoying my day, man.
Yeah.
Like,
oh god, I can't post that. So G Davis. Oh god.
That is that is great.
Oh,
G.
that is good, G.
Holy crap, that's such a good.
Antoine saying he's got to go.
Oh.
Anthony, can I use the last cut with a blue wool pad, then top with Uno Advance with a yellow wool pad? The car is well scratched as well. Yes, you can, man.
Mhm, yes,
Totally.
Both yes to both of those.
Enjoy your family vacation, man.
Yes. So anyway, that was just a little bit I had to add there. But Alex got the experience, and then afterwards he goes, I get what you were saying now. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's okay though. I'm like, but you got your coffee, and what we got was an Annihilator, but sugar-free.
Oh.
Which Annihilator makes you think it's going to like blow your brains out with sugar. But fortunately, you got the
No, it's
sugar-free
usually
version.
5 shots of espresso.
Yeah, it's intense for sure, but it was what we needed to kind of get the pick-me-up. But yeah, no, every Dutch Bros is kind of like In and Out when you go to California. It's a line out the block. Every one you go to, it doesn't matter. So anyway, yeah, Carson, you get it. I work at a Quick Lube right next to a Dutch Bros, and it's crazy.
Yeah, no, they are
get the
insane. We
He's
like
giving
playing,
me a hard
we
time
like
because they
playing
wanna give
devil's
me a hard
advocate,
time, yeah.
so I don't want you guys thinking we're trying to mess
But you get
with
free
Dane,
drinks.
but, yeah.
I don't have a problem with the coffee. I know some people like put up by too sugary stuff, but they have sugar-free options,
Yeah.
so I'm okay with that. It's mostly just a matter of sometimes I'm not looking for that particular experience when I just want to get coffee.
Yeah. Anthony,
That's
tell us about your Easter weekend. How was
asleep
your
now.
daughter's second Easter?
Gosh, I'm falling asleep now. I think I need.
You almost like you
literally
need an annihilator.
I almost need an annihilator. Jeez.
Where you from?
Take you to Dutch
What are you doing today?
Wake you up. I don't know if someone recorded that.
I don't know how I respond to those
Oh man.
types of situations. I mean, I don't know. I just do. Let's see. Jamie got him a mint Ivan 30% off his hot Cajun stone massage at the Home to Suites. I love that.
Oh man.
Gosh, what did I do? Okay, so Friday night.
Always bring the energy, Tony.
Yeah. That's right. Anthony's usually the one who has the craziest stories out of all three of us every week.
Dude, I'm not.
You have all the most ridiculous things happen to you.
No, it's been a long podcast already, and I'm dying here.
It's only been like an hour in.
Yeah.
I know my eyes though.
It's the
are broken
allergies. They're kicking his butt.
So Friday night, what did I do? We actually had like a half day, kind of, not half day, but like some of us
till 2.
Some of us left a little early. I stayed and cleaned my car up and did that, and then that night I think I got home. Oh yes, that's exactly what I did. I got home and I was on dad duty because my wife had to start getting things ready for Easter. There's Easter in my family. It used to be like a half day event, right? Mm-hmm. Now that I have a daughter, it's become a full day event.
Full day.
But I also have 2 sides of the family, right?
Yeah.
And my wife's side of the family and my side of the family. And so it becomes this giant, it becomes an event, right? It's a whole weekend. So Friday night, I just ended up watching my daughter while my wife was able to get some more stuff done. And I just kind of hung around. And
should have taken her to Costco or something.
I think the weather wasn't ideal that night. I can't remember what the weather was like, but I remember I didn't really want to go anywhere, and so I just kind of hung out. I did end up watching more Star Wars. I've been binging all this Star Wars stuff lately, just to be so disappointed. I mean, God, man, The thing is I had these expectations when I talked to you guys. I watched Andor, and I've been watching The Mandalorian. I've been watching all these shows, and I basically, in my head, I was always like, man, Disney owns Star Wars. Insane, right? Like, they must be putting so much time and effort into these shows because, I mean, they got Star Wars. It's crazy, right? And after watching these shows, I go, they don't give a crap about Star Wars.
They're just milking it to death.
They are just milking this thing to death, and the shows honestly suck.
Except for Andor. Andor rules, and Mandalorian
the
season
suck.
1 rules.
And I love the premise of everything. I love the sometimes the vibes are great, but sometimes I'm watching an episode or watching a movie and I go, who wrote that line? That's the worst line I've ever heard in my life, right? Or that doesn't make any sense. But just nobody thinks too far into it, right?
You're saying this as somebody who's already seen the prequels.
Yeah. Yes.
George Lucas's dialogue is famously.
Yeah. So it's okay. It's not great. It's not great. But I just go, how do they not improve on anything? Star Wars book called The Batman the Best Superhero. Okay. I'm not saying that Batman was the best superhero movie ever, but it's pretty dang good. So So what I can't remember what I ended up watching. I started watching Obi-Wan, but I had finished the last 3 trilogy, the Rise of Skywalker,
all that.
Well, that's the prequels. Sorry. Yeah.
Rise.
The last 3.
The last 3, right?
Yeah. Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and
That the second one, whatever the heck it was,
the
Last
one.
Jedi. That's the Green Milk one. That's the Rian Johnson one.
I thought that was the worst one.
I actually enjoy it because it goes against type in so many ways.
I hated it.
I hated
it. I don't know. Actually,
I enjoy it because of how wrong it is.
I don't know. I just think that the Fast and the Furious movies are better written.
That one's the best out of the
I think the Fast and Furious movies are better written than Star Wars movies, and that says a lot, right?
Yeah. The third one we don't like because somehow Palpatine had returned, as Carly said.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. Anyway.
For me, it was just the
he's
editing was
back.
atrocious on the third movie. That was impossible to watch. It was such a mess.
There's just certain loopholes. So, anyways, I started watching the Obi-Wan series, right? And I go, man, there's a lot of loopholes. Well, no, I finished the Boba Fett series, and I was like, Boba Fett, this wasn't even a show about him. Like, this was literally
he survived. He fell in the Sarlacc pit, and he came back out.
Yeah.
It was recovered into back to tank.
Yeah,
and then
what I got out of that show was they said, okay, hey, views aren't looking good.
This isn't working.
Pivot, plan B. Let's kick out that Mandalorian stuff, right? And they go, but that's going to be for season 3 of the Mandalorian. Nope, we're going to cut that, recut it,
doesn't matter.
Send it out.
It's working.
Send it out for Boba Fett. The show sucks. We gotta get more views, right? I genuinely feel like that's what they did, and because that show was.
I lost it at the Scooter Gang in that show. That one kind of killed me.
That was like one of the 30 cringy
there were a lot of things wrong. You liked Obi-Wan. I had a hard time with Obi-Wan.
I didn't care
thought
for Obi-Wan.
Okay.
I said it was okay. It wasn't great.
Mandalorian season 1 and most of season 2 I enjoyed.
I really like
Andor
season.
Is my favorite
so
by
season
far.
3 of Mandalorian
Everything
right now
else has
been
subpar.
amazing, except for this last week's episode.
Okay, I haven't
They
watched.
dropped the ball on
season.
this last week's episode.
Well, that also sucks.
That was not a good episode.
Not a good episode considering it had all these stars in it. I go, that was the most filler episodes of filler episodes I've ever.
It was a full filler episode.
Didn't even need to be involved. But
that's a bummer.
So
just erase that episode and make us another one.
I caught up on that, but then I started watching the Obi-Wan stuff because I think I had watched it before, but I think it was on my phone half the time, so I wasn't really paying attention. So I really gave it my full attention. I said, I'm actually going to watch this.
Agreed.
And honestly, Obi-Wan, not a great show either, right? And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, wow, they're just killing off all this.
That's the thing, though.
And I go, why is there such a strong fan base for something that was so poorly written?
So here's the problem.
Every single aspect of it.
Here's the problem. When the originals were written in the 70s, they wrote the story. They didn't write the prequel. They didn't write the last 3. And then they've created this canon, but there's still the first movies that are out there that have that, like Obi-Wan. The show Obi-Wan shows what happened when he took the kids and split them up. Yeah. Here's where Leia goes. Here's where Luke's at. Yeah. Here's where I'm going to go live to keep an eye on Luke. Yeah. Okay, but then 10 years later when Luke shows up with your friggin' R2 unit that you did the entire Clone Wars with, was your best friend, and you're like, don't remember owning a droid, no idea, and plays because Sir Alec Guinness has no frame of reference as to who these droids are, yet he spent the last 50 years with them as a part of his team. Yes, that's when the loopholes start happening. That's when the problems start happening, and that's when you start going,
they're trying to clean up a lot of these ties, it feels like, and it feels like they're only they're going, well, this might work for this, and people can make their own they can interpret have their own opinions about how this goes. And I go, just clean up the ends, just give us a little bit more information, and it'll clean that up, it'll sew it up, and you don't ever have to worry about it again. But they go, no, we have to leave some for interpretation. And I go, no. No, there's so much interpretation that can come from this whole entire freaking saga that it's just annoying. So anyways, I've concluded that honestly, Dane was right. I mean, Andor really is
this recorded for posterity.
Andor is probably now that I have to compare everything else, right?
It gets where I'm coming from.
Andor actually is the best series.
You know what the trick was? It was made by somebody who didn't care about Star Wars that much.
Yeah,
he just wanted to tell a good story.
It is the best. You have to be invested enough into the Star Wars universe to understand that actually is probably the best series and the best Star Wars thing probably ever made. And then I'm going to go ahead and back that up and say that Rogue One, probably also one of the best Star Wars things ever made.
Yeah.
But everything else is so...
Yay! Finally it worked!
Everything else is so crappy once you rewatch it. You just go, wow.
Oh, man. You still need to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special to see what can truly be the worst thing you've ever seen.
No, man, it sucks. And so, anyway, I have... still going to be finishing The Mandalorian. I truly went out on this...
Yay.
I went out on this quest just to quite literally be like, am I a Star Wars fan? Right? And I can now appreciate Star Wars. I'm not actually excited about future Star Wars things, which is interesting because I've never been like that. I've always been a Lord of the Rings guy. But now I'm like, okay, hopefully they can just improve it and not make this worse, which I doubt will happen.
Did you watch Rings of Power?
On Amazon? I did.
I watched it all the way through.
I didn't watch all of them. But
you got to keep going.
I got to keep going. But Rings of Power, I think that was fine.
I don't remember the music being awful.
I love the music.
What was the music issue you had with that one? I mostly I just think of it as being a really good war movie. But
Ed, you're right.
I thought, man, Rogue One and Andor.
Ed?
Like I said,
No, it was really good because it showed you the banality of evil, the kind of corporate side of it, the very low key. Oh, we're not doing bad things just to be evil. It's just this is just
trying
the way
to fix stuff.
Yeah. We think we're doing the right thing, but actually we're being terrible.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, continue on my weekend. So Saturday, Saturday was primarily just kind of getting ready in the morning. I don't know what the heck we did. I actually think I watched my daughter more, and my wife got things ready to go because we were or did I do something on Saturday morning? I don't even remember anymore now. Like literally, that's where where's the time going? All I know, I didn't do anything. I don't think. I watched my daughter, and then before you know it, we were going over to my parents' house for that version of Easter, right? So my mom hid a bunch of Easter eggs in the backyard. We had a really good food. We just kind of hung out. My daughter did some Easter egg hunting, and she gets the concept of picking up the eggs and putting them in the basket. She's listening to us.
Are you doing drills? Egg hunting drills?
Yeah, Katie had been doing egg hunting drills around the house, but she gets the concept of it, but she just wants to open the egg. So she gets it and opens it and goes, awesome, Teddy Grahams, and then just starts eating them.
Right.
And we go, there's so many more. There's like literally 50 more eggs.
Yeah,
Keep going.
She's focusing on the
and
Teddy
she's
Grahams
like, these Teddy Grahams are pretty good. I'm gonna kind of chill here and eat these for a little bit, and then I'll move on to the next egg. And it could be like a 3-day egg hunt at that pace.
Mm-hmm.
So it just took a long time. So we did that, and I don't know. We were there until later in the night, and and that was pretty much it for that. So then Sunday, another day where I was on dad duty. My wife had to get the house ready for her family coming over to our house for Easter egg events and things like that, and another round of Easter part 2.
Right.
And so she did a really good job. She made a bunch of games and everything for her family. Her family's really big into the games, like the board games, the holiday games, all that stuff. So we did everything from the hula hoop going around the balloons, right, to score points. Have you guys ever seen that? It's a good time. To an Easter egg hunt where my wife had taken giant cutouts of rabbit feet that she made from like boards and then super glued flip-flops onto them. So we literally had to be like bunnies and hop around to try to do
Good job, Katie.
the adult alcoholic bottle hunt, right, where she had chucked a bunch of alcoholic beverages into a piece of land by our house, right?
Your land.
But she did it in the
Put it to
morning.
use.
She did it in the morning, right?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
There's a bunch of teenage kids walking around my neighborhood, right, who are probably finding bottles of alcohol. And I go, this is probably the best Easter ever for them.
Like someone left all their food here.
So it was a huge hit though. We went and got beers and all this sorts of stuff hidden in the woodsy area of my property, my land, and
woods.
The woods,
Yes.
I should say.
Right.
And that was really fun. And after that, though, it was just kind of hanging out with more family, and that was that. It killed me, though. I will say this. I will just admit it. I love my family, and I loved Easter, and I think that was a really fun time. But this being the first nice weekend that we've had
Killed you.
in the entire year, I go, this is killing me
You
right
got
now.
bikes just sitting
I
there,
just
waiting.
I'm like my
Waiting.
mind is going 100 miles an hour. I go car washes, motorcycle rides, right, banging gears, right. I'm like all these things I want to do, oil changes that I have to do, all these other things. I'm like I could, if I had one day, I could have done so much. But it kind of is what it is, and so there'll hopefully be many more nice weekends.
Yeah.
But this last weekend was just incredibly nice. So, that was pretty much it. Just Easter. My daughter loved it. She got so much crap. It's insane. Like my whole house is filled with Easter baskets and all this other stuff. And I got candy and everything else. And I am trying not to eat any of that right now, though, because that last week from TRC, that put me in like a perma bloat situation. I don't know if it was the alcohol. I don't know if it was the food. I don't know if it was the Pop-Tarts. I don't know if it was the donuts. Probably a combination of literally everything.
Yeah.
But dude, I was straight up just so full. I was walking around like a balloon. I'm like, I'm done eating. I'm just gonna not eat for 3 weeks. Anthony, coming to work. I can hook you up on an oil change. Carson. I usually do my own oil changes, but I have that Miata. I need to change the oil on that, but I need to get that thing done, dude. That's the other thing I realized is that the nice weather, I wanted to go drive the Miata too, but my wife's mom was like, "Hey, what's the update on the car?" She's like, "You still? What do you think you're gonna do here? This month?" And I go, I still got to detail the exterior. I still got to get to that. And so she's like, okay,
He secretly
sounds
wants
good.
to keep it.
And it sucks though. I've had the car for like a month now, right? Rained, snowed, 40 degrees, 30 degrees, and this last weekend's the first nice weekend we got.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know how much more I'm going to enjoy of that car before it goes away. But
Yeah, Joey, it's great.
Dane, you weren't kidding. My Motorplast used it after an engine bay detail on my car straight, and I was blown away. It is amazing.
It looks so good.
Alex says it would have been great to do an oil change on the Civic and double gasket that bad boy for a good time. It always is. You never know, right? Theme ideas for TRC 2024.
I was
Asked
telling her
Carly.
the other night that we've got some Fast and the Furious
Ideas, yeah.
We've got some Matrix, maybe.
Oh, God.
But
The Matrix.
Oh, no.
Okay. It could be so bad that it's good.
Yeah.
No, if you do with Morpheus, it's
Like-
going to wind up like the Lethal Weapon stuff and Always Sunny. You
could
can't
do-
do
and,
that.
And they talked about Star Wars. The guys were
Yeah.
talking about Star Wars.
The hard part is like I would love to do the Fast and the Furious, and we've already decided who Levi's character would be. But the problem is I have no
Now that
idea.
I shaved my head.
I have no idea who Dane could be, and I have no idea who I would be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm Jesse. I just walk out in front of the house and get shot.
Oh no.
Hey, what's that? Oh!
So the Fast and Furious.
Joey says
is-
he would buy a black Civic and drive it up to Boise.
Yeah, if we would love to do it. There's so many fun things that we can do, but that's the problem. Is I don't think the character I don't think we can get that dialed in.
The theme may not necessarily be like movie themed
No.
either. It could be think a little broader thematically. We could do some interesting stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We've got a year. No, we've only got a few months to figure this out. Get it
Yeah.
started.
Yeah,
Yeah, can't do Die Hard because that is a Christmas movie. You're absolutely right,
that
Alex.
is correct.
Pokemon.
Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, I don't.
Joey
I don't
says
know.
not kidding. He will buy a Civic.
I know he would
Come up.
What about the Italian Job?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any
so just shave your
cucumbers?
head and be
Good idea.
Statham. There you go.
Gone in 60 seconds.
We could do Gone in 60. I started
Okay,
I
let's
started
ride.
showing that to Hadley this weekend.
Did you? It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
The
Only watched
music
like the
in that
first 10
movie
minutes.
alone
No,
is
the
so
soundtrack's
fun.
great.
I
It's
love
a
it.
well done
I love
soundtrack.
it.
But yeah, we started watching that, and then
Dirty baby.
but so because of those ducks that we have in our yard,
Yeah.
Carly and I yesterday after the movie stopped at D&B, picked up
Yeah.
some duck feed,
Yeah.
so we could actually be providing some real
Yeah.
sustenance. But then we found a brick
A
of
brick.
seed
Oh no.
this big,
Holy smokes.
and nobody's even looking.
Oh no. Okay.
It's literally
that.
like 16 inches by 16 inches by like 16 inches tall. It's giant. It's all seed and like honey.
Yeah. Oh, that's delicious.
And so we
Nice.
set it on top of one of our sandstones out front. This morning, I was watching a squirrel try to sneak over and take a couple nibbles on it. He was checking it out. And all of a sudden, our neighbor cat went sneaking across our yard like he was stalking something. And I thought, oh, better not
Yeah.
be the ducks. So I opened up the door to run out. It was a baby bunny
Oh,
that's
sitting
so
in our
cute.
driveway
Wow.
that had peed himself because my dog was there. Sherlock, our cat, was there, and the neighbor cat across the street was there, and all of them were around this little baby bunny.
Did you see
And I
it?
shooed them all away, called Carly and the kids. They came out. Augie got to take pictures. We petted the bunny, and then Augie got me a little towel. And I
Nice.
picked the bunny up and took him over to a bush across the street and put him in there so he could hide
So
a
is
little bit.
he alive?
We'll find out. Hopefully he is, but I was able to distract the cats enough
Yeah.
to get our
'Cause-
cats back in the
Sure.
house.
Because I remember when those swallows that I had living on my porch.
Yeah, mhm.
Remember that whole situation?
Yeah, you had all those birds in your
It's
yard.
very sad. But anyways, Modesto themed TRC.
Modesto themed TRC.
Honestly,
Anthony's childhood.
like I would love to take a trip down memory lane.
So we'll just be there to bully
Grace
Anthony.
Grace M. Davis High School, right?
Oh,
you
boy.
know, a couple shootings go on there every couple weeks just to kind of keep the students in line. And what I love about it too is that the stalls in the bathrooms, right, at that high school don't have doors on them, right? Because when the kids keep kicking the doors in, they stop putting them back on, right? So you are at your most vulnerable state as a high school student just having to go to the
Because they're
bathroom.
just kicking the doors
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, and they kick the door open, and they
sounds fun.
go, that's so embarrassing. Why you poop, why you pooping at school? And you go, because my stomach hurts. And they go, oh, well, it looks like you don't have a door on your
Whatever,
thing.
loser.
Break out the
Whatever,
ego.
loser, right?
Yeah.
And it's literally scarring as a
Battle
child.
poops, as Joey says.
You
Yeah.
know what? Actually, nobody said this one yet, but Always Sunny. We know you're Mac, I'm Charlie, and you're Dennis, so we got that one settled.
Always Sunny could be good, but I feel like it's a lot of prop work.
That is
It's a lot of prop work, but
It's
it's
a
low
time.
budget everything else.
The props would kill us on that.
Yeah.
So we would have to figure out a way to
Yeah.
do it a little.
There's
cleaner.
options. I just
I
wonder
don't
who
know.
would play Frank.
Think
Anyway.
We
about
got
it.
work to do.
Yeah, we
So,
do have
we
work
got
to do.
stuff we
Maybe
gotta
what
do.
we'll do is we'll do a survey. We can have people vote, right? We'll give them like 50
Yeah.
options, and then we.
It's a ranked choice voting system.
Yeah, and it starts going down,
Yeah.
and it starts whittling it down.
That's
Yeah, that would work.
And what we do, it's a good one,
Yeah,
Ed.
that's a
That's
fun
a good
one.
one. So, anyways, that's the weekends, guys. Thanks so much for watching TRCMA last week. The shows still continue to live on the main channel. You can also watch the recap video as well. And hopefully this month we'll have another couple other sales in case you happen to miss the 20% off from last week. So, Dane, take it away.
Yes, everybody watching right now, please do us a favor. Click the like button on your way out the door. We really appreciate it. It helps us get in front of more people. And speaking of more people, we've had more people watching these shows lately than
It's been great.
ever
Thank
before.
you.
We're hovering around 50 now for these shows, which is excellent. And it's all thanks to you guys spreading the word. And we really appreciate that. So if you haven't already hit that like, do that. And then if for some reason you're not already subscribed here, what are you doing? Come on, just click the subscribe button. Make sure you got that covered. And on our main channel, the Rag Company YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed there as well because we will have new videos coming out over the course of the next few weeks. We got some stuff in the pipeline, stuff you can look forward
Yeah.
to. So that's it. Take care. Have a great week. We'll see you on Q&A Thursday.
See ya.
See ya.